Hi guys, I hope you guys are doing well. So this is the first video with respect to the IELTS series. Okay, so before I start, I would like you to see the results just to confirm that I have received the desired band that I'm claiming while making this video. So we'll start with the listening. Okay, so this test basically consists of four different sections and each has around 10 questions. The first two sections of this part of the test is basically concerned with the social needs. Okay, so the first section would be a conversation between two speakers, and the second one would be a monologue where a single speaker would be giving the information required to basically complete the test or the complete the section of the test. Okay, so the final two sections are concerned with the situation that is basically related to an educational or training context. Okay, so the third section would be a conversation that can be up to like four people, and the fourth section would again be a monologue where one single speaker would be giving a speech or anything. Okay, so we'll start with some particular questions and how I basically decided to go about these questions in my exams to get the desired band. Okay, so the first one is basically the most easiest one, the most easiest part of the listening test, where you get fill in the blanks. Okay, and it is mostly regarding a job or like a vacation information like this, a job information or a vacation information. So, how I went about this part of the test is basically I predicted answer beforehand. How? Like there is an example given over here. A name is given like Julie and the last name is given Garcia. So if this part, the last part, the last name was missing, I knew that there would be some name. Okay, this is very basic like example. We can go ahead and see that like there is one thing given, that details of the problem. She went to a basically a health clinic in order to get certain information regarding a problem that she is facing. So the details of the problem, type of problem, pain in her left. Pain in her left means there would be some body part, like it might be her hand, might be her leg, might be her hair or anything related to a body part. Okay, so I predicted the answer beforehand and I wrote this. It might be a body part just beside the blank that has been given for me to answer over here. So this is how I predicted answer beforehand for this part of the test, and this was very basic. This was the first part, so it wasn't that difficult as far as the other parts of the listening test is concerned. So we'll go with the next part, and this one is related to multiple choice questions. Okay, this is the second part of the test. So for multiple choice questions, what I did was, and what I would suggest you to do is, make sure that you basically read the questions carefully, and then look for the difference in the multiple choice questions. For example, there is a question given, according to Martin, which is unusual about the date of mammoth's extinction on the island. How exactly it is, how early it is, the second option. The third option is how it was established. So you could see that there are certain differentiation in the MCQs that are being given. So what you need to do is you need to underline those differences. Okay, sometimes what happens is the multiple choice questions have, like, the options are too lengthy and you cannot memorize it. So what you need to look to is basically underline whatever differences there are in the multiple choice questions, so you can assume, or what you can predict answer correctly, because when the speaker is speaking, it's very difficult to concentrate on all the options that are provided and then making sure that you are basically clicking, or you are basically choosing the right answer. So it would be very useful for you to read the question carefully. If the options are like not that much lengthy, try to memorize it. But if the options are lengthy in this part, so what you need to do is look for what is difference between the options that are provided to you. So underline it so you could basically answer properly, or you will make sure that there won't be much mistake in this part of the test. Okay, so the next part is the map, which I found myself is the difficult part in the listening test. So how I went about it is there is like directions given. Sometimes in the paper base, it's the scale is like the scale is already made like north in the up, south down, east on the right, and west on the left. Okay, so what I did was I made it more like I put in more direction into it. So I made a direction with northwest, northeast, southwest, and southeast. And also remember that there are certain information that is given. So circle those information, because the speaker will give direction either in the like either through the directions like northwest or northeast, or either he will basically what he'll do is he'll use the information that is already provided here in your question exam. So he will use that information, and then he will give you direction like from when you will go from north gate, from northwest direction, you will find this place. So that place would be empty where you need to write your answer. So look for that place and then write the answer. So this is how I went about the map part, which actually helped me to get a better score, because the first time that I attempted through computer based exam, I knew that I basically did not answer properly. I got this map question, and 3 to 4 questions I did not answer properly, and that is where my I couldn't get the desired bands, and therefore I use this trick or tip, you may call it, to get the maximum out of it. Okay, so the next part of the listening exam is where you match there are information given in alphabetical order, and you match that with the questions that are given to you. The speakers will give you information, and then you will have to match those alphabetical information given to you in the particular blanks that are being given to you in the exam. So how you will go about it is, some majority of the time the options in the alphabetical order will be not too lengthy. So either if you are good at memorizing, you get some time to memorize it. So you can, if you can memorize it, try to memorize it. Otherwise what you need to do is make sure that you underline the important information both in the question and in the options provided to you in the alphabetical order. So just underline it. Okay, and then the next step you need to do is, once you start, once the speaker start the listening part of this part, so once he start speaking, make sure that if you have answered the first question and if you have write the alphabet, go up and cross that alphabet in the options, so that you will not see that, and as you go by, your options will be like limited and you will be able to answer correctly all those options. So this is how I try to basically get the most out of these questions, and this will also help you to get the desired score here in this section. I believe this strategy would help you to basically get the maximum out of this section, because it's difficult to memorize 7-8 options given in alphabetical order and then to put that in the questions when the speaker is speaking. Again, it's just as difficult as answering the multiple choice questions, but then you have certain tips that you can follow to get the maximum out of it. So yes, we have this option, so we can cut it out in the paper based exam. If you have already answered one of the alphabet, just cut it out, go up in the bracket section where all the options are given, just cut it out, and then you can look for other options when you are answering the next questions. Okay, so then we are done with it almost. The last part is also filling the blanks, but it is a little bit harder in terms of the context that is provided to you. The first one is relatively easy because it's just the start of the test, so you get familiar with the test, so it's quite easy. Just general information that you need to provide, but the last part is a bit difficult. So when you are answering it, make sure that you basically read the text properly and look for words that are important just before the filling the blanks. Okay, and when you are answering the questions, make sure that you read the instruction properly, and make sure that you are looking two questions at the moment, because there are chances sometimes when you're, especially when you're doing like filling the blanks questions, so there is not much gap in these questions. So what you need to do is keep an eye on at least 2 to 3 questions if there is not much gap in the questions that are provided to you, especially in the filling the blanks, the first part. So you will be able to answer all the questions, and you will not miss any if you keep an eye on at least 2 3 questions if they're close together. So I think that's about it. And if you like the tips or the information that I've provided you, please make sure to subscribe, like, and press the bell icon to get the notifications regarding IELTS and immigration program if you are interested in. And also share with people who may get benefit out of it or may find this information useful. Thank you. Goodbye.